First thing we're going to take a look at is finding comparable properties. How do you find comparable properties, Midge?
Well, first and foremost, I look at the immediate area, right? And I always try to, the same as every other good agent, try and pull the comps in the immediate area. When was the last property sold that was actually on that street? And then, if it was a couple of years back, then I'll work it forward with the numbers and the differences within the two properties. But I try and find comps in the immediate neighborhood, so more on a micro market. Look at the differences between properties, which there's a lot. Look at available listings, look at listings that have been cancelled, because all of those elements together, they tell you a story of buyer sentiment and what buyers are willing to pay out there, right? 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, but one thing I also, I always like to beam in on too is who's my audience for this property as well, right? So that's where location comes into play. But yeah, so I always try and look at the micro market, what's cooking in that area, what's the activity like in that area, how many days on the market are these properties sitting before they're selling, the ones that were cancelled, how many days on the market, the condition of the home. I want to see the additions, the minuses and the pluses. Do we have a pool? Have we got a hot tub? So there's a bunch of different things that I look at, square footage, I mean, everything. Micro market first, give me my comps in the last 30 to 90 days. If it's a fast moving market like what we have experienced, and this market now, we've got so many ups and downs month to month. Sometimes you can't even go back 90 days. You got to look at the last 30 days, right? So many different approaches I take on that. Style of design, yeah, and you gather all that information together. That draws me a picture of where I need to be roundabout. And then I go in and I deduct and add if there's an extra bedroom here, what's the value of that, right? You've got to find the value of that, which is why you've got to look in that immediate community and see what buyers. We don't put price on properties, buyers do. So what is that one extra bedroom that's sold down the road worth to that buyer, right? A lot goes into it. It is a bit of an art. You can't just, as many people do, just slap up a price based on what's selling. You got to really get to the meat and potatoes of it.
You got to really look at the property when it comes to pricing things and finding comparables in this wholesaling market. So when it comes to the comparables, we got to look at everything, the house type, obviously, first first and foremost. I'll get into how to price later, but when I'm looking at comparables, I'm looking at same type of house, lot size, square footage, how many garages the property has. What does it look like? A lot of the times you see people who use, especially in the wholesaling world, they'll use a bungalow and compare it to like a 1.5 or a 2-story. If it's a 2-story, you're comparing to other 2 stories. And is it a stick and siding 2-story, or is it a full brick house? Is it a brick and
Right.
siding house? What I like to do is I like to look, first of all, look on, using House Sigma to look at things, go and look at, what houses sold. And then I want to look at what this house looks like on Google Street View, drop the address in, take a walk essentially down the street, take a look at
Right.
the house, see what it looks like. What does it look like compared to the other ones that have sold recently? So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I look at is, okay, I got a number. I got an idea of what this house is worth based on, those factors, the type of
So
house,
that's very it's so that
bedrooms,
in
bathrooms.
that aspect it's very similar to resale and put it on MLS. So you look for the same aspects that we do, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it right down to bedrooms, bathrooms, square
Yeah.
footage, whatever. I know bathrooms isn't a big deal because you can always add a bathroom, but
If you
you
have the
know,
square footage.
yeah, bedrooms are important. Is there a finished basement? Is there a separate entrance? All those things come into play when you're finding a comparable. Never mind the
Mm-hmm.
pricing it out, just finding a comparable in the first place.